What's golden, y'all? It's Brian with Blurting While Dad. This is another character issues. I haven't done one of these in a while. And y'all have been kind of digging the character issues I've done so far. And so this time I'm putting one of my favorites on the Summer Jam screen. My boy Pete. My boy Pete. So that's what we got on today's episode. All right. This one's a little bit more personal for me. Spider-Man's pretty much always been one of my favorite characters. The other one is Ben Grimm, Luke Cage, and whoever's Green Lantern at the time. Like I grew up with Kyle Rayner and John Stewart as my Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan. Like these are my favorite characters. But I'm tired, bro. I'm tired. I'm not tired of Spider-Man. Spider-Man got my nerves bad. I'm not tired of Spider-Man. I'm tired of what Marvel keeps doing to my boy. Um, Somehow we've turned Spider-Man from he's supposed to be the everyman hero, he's supposed to be the regular Joe, to the company's punching bag, bro. Like it's they decided bro's power is just failing. Like that's what his power is. He can't get his shit together. Okay. And the problem is, and it's not just Spider-Man takes losses, right? But I don't mind him losing to the new villain of the week, right? And he has got to go back to the lab and figure out how he's going to beat new villain of the week. I don't know about this Hellgate dude that they brought in here where Spider-Man's now in outer space right now. I don't know. I haven't made my mind up about that one, but we're going to see where this goes. I don't mind him taking losses from villains. I'm tired of him taking L's in his personal life. Like, I get it. I understand, we're supposed to empathize with them and stuff like that. But damn, this is getting tired, y'all. He can't get his shit straight in relationships. Dude can't hold down a job. He always got money issues. It's just frustrating to watch this dude he's 30 years old and he's constantly failing. He's the Charlie Brown of the Marvel Universe. I'm tired of this. And a lot of Spider-Man fans actually are. That's why there was a big push. Like, why don't they just put him back with Mary Jane so he can at least have one thing? Because having that one thing made the other losses not seem so bad. But now we're even messing around with the relationship with him and Mary Jane, and it's trash, bro. He's been losing the same shit for damn near 60 years. Okay? Financial struggles, relationships, bad luck, constant guilt. He's dealing with all of this shit all the time, 24/7. He don't never win. Every time he grows up, they kick him right back down the ladder. Every time he catches a win, they kick him right down the ladder. Okay? Every time. They're obsessed with keeping him relatable, and that's making him not relatable. Spider-Man, like, this would be incel in real life. This would be incel Spider-Man in real life. But at least he doesn't have that. He doesn't seem to have that gene in him, right? And what's relatable about a 30-something-year-old genius who still can't figure shit out? And I know in this world right now, everybody's struggling. We struggling. I'm struggling, right? We trying to make ends meet and everything. But this dude is in the proximity of billionaires. And he can't step to him and say, hey, can you help me patent this thing? Because here's the thing, Reed Richards, Tony Stark, all Marvel's smartest people, even Dr. Doom has recognized how intelligent Peter is. They've recognized it. Can't nobody say, hey, we're going to give you a grant. Spider-Man can't step to him and say, hey, I know y'all want to deal with Tombstone. I know y'all ain't feeling like messing with Rhino. Last time, y'all let Norman Osborn get out there. And I know Norman Osborn is good now, but you get where I'm going. He's going to be bad again. It's coming. Last time, y'all took the eye off of Norman Osborn. He took over the United States. Should I deal with him? All right, cool. If you want me to deal with him and keep him in check, write me a grant that pays my bills, bro. Help me. It's frustrating. In the last few years, Nick Spencer's run, and I'm just paraphrasing here. Nick Spencer's run, they brought back villains. They teased that he might be getting back with MJ, but they ended the relationship and he back to square one. Then next, Ben Riley came back and replaced Peter Parker for a bit. And then some shit happened with Ben Riley. He's Chasm now. They really never really defined what Chasm actually is. He's just a palette swap Spider-Man with powers and was messing with Madeline Pryor. I don't know. She's messing with the Goblin Queen. I don't know. I don't quite understand it. But yeah, so both Spider-Man lost. We got to watch Ben and Peter take an L. Zeb Wells. Peter's isolated. MJ done moved on. Everybody's pissed off at him. No explanation for months. That's probably the arc that lost me most recently. I just now started picking up Spider-Man books again because I can't keep watching this dude just lose. Back to Peter being broke again, back to being alone and dejected, back to being guilt ridden, back to his girlfriend hating him, back to breakups, back to job interviews and not getting on. It's just frustrating, bro. Miles is growing and maturing into his own person. I love Miles, but at least he's getting some kind of arc where he's not trapped in this reiterative loss kind of thing, right? Peter, he's in this fucking purgatory and it's driving me nuts. Peter should be the guy who's got to figure it out by now, at least to figure out how shit works for him, right? He's a scientific genius. He's built future tech with no resources. He worked for Tony Stark, led the Avengers. He even ran his own company at Parker Industries. That was popping for a second. And when he finally succeeded, Marvel erased it, bro. Spider-Man can't win. They can't even make him adapt to shit in real life. Like he can adapt to villains, but he can't figure out how to do it in his real life. Stop. It's misery. It's miserable reading Spider-Man books. It's draining. Like now he's in outer space and he's kind of getting he's actually getting some wins. Basically Peter's with like his little version of the Guardians with Rocket Raccoon and a bunch of other randos. And I guess Marvel's the new character Simbi, like they're trying to make another Jeff the Landshark type character. Like that's cool, but I know the wins that he's taking and the advances he's going to make is all temporary. It's going to get erased because Marvel mandates that he can't win at any time ever. Okay? It's editorial misery because it came down from editorial. It all started with the MJ and Peter Parker relationship not allowed, where they just said, well, he can't be married for reasons. Like just for reasons. They felt like it limited the story. I felt like that opened up new stories. Like Clark and Lois been together forever. They're still telling new Clark and Lois stories and they're keeping it interesting. I am following Superman and the DCKO event. They doing interesting stuff with Clark and Lois. We telling me Spider-Man and MJ can't do some interesting stuff. MJ, for some reason, they just randomly made her Venom. We can't tell interesting stories where Spider-Man and Venom is hunching. Like you can't tell no interesting stories where they wake up, where they have an actual relationship and they like go out for coffee in the morning, and they Spider-Man and Venom, they gotta go fight crime. That's not interesting. Historically, one of his most deadly villains is now on the love of his life. We can't do anything with that. Where the symbiote has some kind of weird connection with Spider-Man where he feels jealousy because they have this quasi-romantic relationship with Spider-Man in his mind, but he also has to contend with MJ, so he's low-key jealous of MJ, and we go back and forth, and the symbiote is pining for Spider-Man, but MJ sensing it. Like, we can't do that. That's not a good story. Come on. Let's talk about the genius thing. Dude's one of the most brilliant minds on earth. He just never had the resources. We got Reed Richards saying it, Tony Stark saying it, Hank Pym says it when he's with us, when he's not. Yeah. He's walking around in a world full of super geniuses and he's still living check to check. So you're telling me this man can build nanotech suits, web formulas, interdimensional communicators, but can't figure out how to file a patent? He can't figure out how to file a patent? He can't figure out, hey, Tony, can you make up a grant so that I can get like money? Like even Emma Frost was feeling the spider charm, bro. He knows all these people with unlimited resources. Can I get a grant so that I can keep New York safe? Because I'm your line of defense. He's always on the front line of defense when New York's when New York's in jeopardy. He can't talk to Reed or Tony and say, hey, can you help me set up so that my family is straight? Help me out. Norman Osborn still got money, and now they friends. Hey, man, you've been beating my ass all these years, and you killed the love of my life. Can you at least set up a stipend for me? It's the least you can do. You can't do some level of reparations for all the harm you've inflicted directly in my life? Message. You've been a persistent thorn in my side from almost my entire existence, but you can't you can't provide a stipend to make sure that I can operate as Spider-Man. Give me a grant. You don't, Tony, you ain't trying to go out here and fight Rhino, bro. You ain't trying to stop Tombstone. I do that stuff, right? Nobody want to mess with Carnage breaks loose and tries to take over the Marvel universe every 5 years. I'm normally the one that deals with that shit. I'm normally the one that figures it out. I don't know where Venom is. He out there messing with Muse. I don't know where Eddie is. Eddie's Carnage now. That's gonna come back and haunt us. Give me a stipend so I can start planning for what happens when this happens. Okay? You got the satellites. I got the fist. Let me help you. He can make that argument in universe, y'all. Last time y'all took your eyes off of Norman Osborn, he took over the fucking United States. Tony, he exiles you from S.H.I.E.L.D., bro. He drug your name through the dirt. Last time you took the eye off the ball with Norman Osborn. I keep him in check. Cut me a check. Maybe fund the guy who keeps these psychos out of your board meetings. The Avengers owe him hazard pay. As many times as this dude's come out and helped the Avengers at great cost of liberty to himself, he never gets, they can't pay him. They ain't got no fund for Avengers that need money. He's doing freelance crisis management on a galactic level with no budget. And the thing that makes it worse is Marvel, every single time he has some kind of advancement, they go to back to basics with the nostalgia, but it's not really, because for a long time, Peter Parker had girlfriends and he had interpersonal relationships and he had things figured out. But now, recently, this back to basic shit is just circling the drain. The Parker luck used to mean things don't always go your way, but not that you just live in a permanent loop of trauma and fuck ups. There's a difference between a relatable struggle and narrative stagnation, and Peter is in narrative stagnation right now. He's in purgatory. It's hard as a super fan of this character to continue to read these books. And he's Marvel's biggest IP, right? Like, he's always been their breadwinner, man. Let this dude win occasionally. Damn. They're trying to write him like he's still a 19-year-old screwing up everything. He's lived through multiversal wars, time travel, clones. You can't unsee all that as a long-term fan. The reset button doesn't mean that he needs to go back to that guy that was still trying to figure out the difference between his ass and a hole in the ground. We gotta move past that. Okay. The missed potential. Imagine Spider-Man where Peter's kind of stable, has a decent relationship, has a decent support system, maybe even married again, but he's got to deal with all the challenges of keeping his family safe. You know what we got? The new Ultimate Spider-Man is actually doing it, and that's why it's a better book. Let him be the guy that's actually mentoring younger heroes. Let him develop a patent that actually keeps his family straight, so he doesn't have to worry about Aunt May not being able to make rent. He can succeed and be interesting. Like I said, y'all could put him back with MJ right now. She has Venom. You telling me we can't tell stories about that? We can't have Spider-Man and Venom as a main book? We're talking about the romantic entanglement because basically That's a love triangle between Spider-Man, Venom, and Mary Jane. We can't do that. Have Eddie reemerge in the picture at some point. That's interesting storytelling. That's development. That's telling stories that sound like that pull people in instead of doing a hard reset on this character every 5 years. Okay, let him succeed and still be interesting. We've seen Batman evolve relatively. We've seen Iron Man battle addiction. We've seen Daredevil struggle with his faith and morality. Let's do something with Spider-Man that puts him on a redemptive arc that actually continues to arc instead of kicking him down the ladder. If you want to have the loser Spider-Man book, then start another alternate universe or something. Okay? Why is Spider-Man the only one who's forced to keep living in 2002 forever? Okay? So that's what I got on the next episode. The Thing is my other favorite, and I'm going to be doing the character issues on him. But here's the difference. When Ben Grimm suffers, it means something. His pain has weight. It changes people around him. It changes him fundamentally. Peter's pain just feels like product placement because that's just his brand. Next time I'm going to talk about why Ben Grimm suffers well and Peter suffers in circles. I don't need Spider-Man to win all the time. I just need him to grow. The guy who beat Doctor Doom in a homemade suit should not be tripping over his rent check. Like, come on. Okay. So if Marvel's scared that letting him grow will make him less relatable, then they've forgotten what made him great in the first place. He represented us at our best and not just at our most miserable. Peter Parker deserves better, and as fans, we do too. This has been Character Issues with Blurred and Wild Dad. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.